What are you doing?
Packer and Durham. We're having cake.
We're having cake.
We can have cake and eat it too. That's how we roll in this
Look at
bad
Collins.
boy.
Collins is, once again.
Now get all right.
Stand up and show this off here real quick.
I like this.
Don't stand up too high. You're out of the camera range. I still want the recruits to see you or whoever might be watching.
Well,
How come I didn't get one of these shirts?
Wait, hold on.
I did every snap of the Cat's career.
You have to work on your quads on this one to get it just right. All right?
Yeah, there's no doubt.
All right.
There's a little stress right there.
There you go. That's good. You did this. This might be of all the stuff you've done, and we're going to talk about swag here in a minute.
Right.
This is my favorite shirt because that was the guy.
No doubt. So what I got there is a GA 1999. It's a Joe Hamilton shirt. The Hamilton, the musical, takeoff on it.
Right.
And Joe Hamilton, great player. And the big thing for us is we're trying to get back to that level where we're in the conversation of having Heisman Trophy winners, Heisman Trophy candidates, award winners on every level. And Joe was that, for us back in the day. And, we're also Hamilton, the musical, is playing in Atlanta this spring. And during spring ball, my wife has already signed up. The entire football team is going to go see Hamilton at the Fox Theater. Just a cool little, you have the opportunity to live in Atlanta and have access to all these great things. We're going to take advantage of that.
For those of you who are watching from outside the southeastern footprint, when Jeff says Fox Theater, that's because he's from Conyers.
That's not the correct enunciation?
Well, no, it is.
Okay.
It is here.
Yes.
But if you go a little north to some of the northern outposts, like when you go to the Carrier Dome later next year to play, it'll be theater.
Gotcha. Didn't know
But
that.
see, that's where I understand. I'm just pointing that out. I've learned that over the years that's what we do. But you're right.
Okay.
That's cool though. Your wife signed up the team.
The whole team. We're going to take them, and I think it's a good cultural experience. Show different things.
Sure.
And so I'm excited about it. I've seen it on Broadway, and it's an amazing. Anybody that hadn't seen it, it's an amazing show.
I just think that for this hour segment, every time you do costume change, we do food change.
Yeah.
So we went biscuits to start things off, compliments to you, and now the birthday boy is going to load up on some birthday cake while we discuss your schedule.
Ooh.
Now, Wes just mentioned for the second year in a row, you get the duty of opening up against Clemson. The good news is you get them at home this time.
Yeah.
Are you good with that?
Yeah, I'm great. Competition's king in our program. It's one of the best programs in college football, and so we'll be excited to be able to strap it up toe meets leather on Grant Field, September 3rd,
Thursday night.
Thursday night. I'd imagine that's going to be an ESPN game. So excited about the opportunity to showcase. There's not a better backdrop, in my opinion, than downtown Atlanta. At night, Bobby Dodd is just a special, special setting. And for the whole country to be able to see that is awesome.
And you're going to find out about where you stand in the league pretty quick because it won't take long. 1 month in the football season in the league, you will have seen Clemson, a road trip to North Carolina, and a road trip to Blacksburg. That's pretty good.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. We're excited.
You look at this league, and I know you worked in the SEC at Mississippi State in Florida. Then you went and ran your own shop at Temple for a couple of years. But from the time you were here in the late 90s, and Mark and I just had this conversation in December, where has this league gotten better, in your opinion, in the 20 years that cover kind of your coaching career?
Yeah, I think up front. You see the offensive line and the defensive lines that are in the ACC right now. I was in the SEC for 7 years, and I was at Alabama as well. And in that league, it starts up front. I didn't know in the early 2000s if that was the same narrative that you could say about our league. But nowadays, we go against some of the best offensive lines and defensive lines in the country, and it's our challenge to make sure we're getting up to that level as well. We inherited an offensive line that averaged 6'1", 264 pounds, which is not your typical major college football offensive line size. Our signing class in December was 6'5", 294 on average at the O-line, and 4 of them already on campus to help us, fix that and develop that.
Coach, when you look at your schedule, though, and I know you're worried about recruiting and 1,000 other things, and the schedule is the schedule. When you get to it, you get to it. But did anything pop at you when you saw this for the first time?
The Thursday night ESPN, Clemson, we try to take it one game at a time. Wes alluded to the Notre Dame game. So when I first got hired, they asked me if I would be interested in playing a game in Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And I said, no, I want to play 5 games.
Huh.
And kind of expanded people's minds. Todd Stansberry, our athletic director, an amazing AD. He was able to work it and get us there. Every single year for the next 5 years, we're playing in Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
Is that important to you?
It's huge.
Why is that?
It's 0.9 miles away from our campus. It is the #1 football venue in the world. And it's right there near our campus, 0.9 miles away. We have recruiting dinners there. So being able to sell the city and to fill up the best stadium in the country, and that is our home stadium for the next 5 years, the guys that we're recruiting are guaranteed to play in that stadium while they're in college playing for us. Well, you don't get that opportunity everywhere else. And we had a scrimmage there last year, and we'll do that again this year as well. We've got a big workout coming up. We do those crazy specialized workouts. Not to give too much info to the team, but I guess the cat's out of the bag now. But we're gonna have one of those
moment of weakness. Moment of weakness, fellas. We got you.
It's the cake and the biscuits and the dogs kind of got my equilibrium off, so I'm revealing a little too much.
Is that the night before or the night after Hamilton?
I don't
Might be during Hamilton.
Might be during Hamilton. When you look at, though, the 21st century, and one of the things that you're very good at talking about is you recognized early in your coaching career that in order to recruit guys, you had to connect with guys.
Yep.
So all the things that happen in the ACC now, there's got to be a connection. Right. Guys have to understand things. And, it jokingly got called can of swag years ago,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
But there is some value and some truth to the fact.
Right.
I mean, you used to recruit guys with MySpace.
There's
Roddy
doubt.
Jones, and you connected on a MySpace page?
There's no doubt.
All right, so all of that now.
Yeah.
Jeff, what is this the connection? Is this what the new world is?
Yeah, I mean, you've got to find ways to make sure that you're showing your brand, you're showing your culture. We're very aggressive on social media, at Coach Collins again on Twitter. We're very aggressive on social media. We show the things that we're doing in our program. It's a lot of hard work, but we try to have fun while we're working hard. And the recruits and, this generation relates to that very well. But on the other side is when they come to our program and they come see us in the facility and get around our coaches and our players, if what they're seeing on social media and what our brand is doesn't match with what our culture really is, then you've got issues. The really good thing about us is what you see on social media, the things that we're showing when they come in, it's actually even better in real life when they're in the locker room, when they come to our workouts, they come to our practices, they get to be around our coaching staff, was absolutely an amazing group of men and women. So it's really cool.
When we, during the season, we will have press conference clips.
Right.
And I have on record on this show saying that
a lot.
Jeff Collins, every week I would see something different.
Yep.
Right?
Very reminiscent of this show, in fact. Every segment has been something different.
Well, every second.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, every show we change something in the backdrop. I guarantee it's not what it was yesterday. But nevertheless, if we walked into your office, and you kind of laughed and we're having some fun with this crazy basement, would this basement be reminiscent of your office?
Very much so. There's a shelf of Star Wars figures. I'm a big Star Wars guy. There's bobbleheads, Calvin Johnson bobbleheads. We try. It's very reminiscent. I'll take a picture. And
we got a
tweet it at
Calvin
you.
Johnson bobblehead.
Right. I've got that exact one sitting there.
Yeah.
I think he's right next to Darth Vader in my office. But in our staff meeting rooms, there's pictures. Inspector Todd from Beverly Hills Cop. There's a picture of him up on the wall. That story will remain with us. There's a stuffed possum.
You're just talking to us down here in the basement.
There's a stuffed possum sitting on our staff room table. Again, I'll leave that. There's a stuffed dinosaur.
Whoa, Coach, you cannot come into our basement and talk about a stuffed possum.
I mean, you brought a helmet and stuff.
We're not going to just give us the thumb.
The pressure. There's so much pressure.
No, just give us a couple hints on the stuffed possum.
In our staff, everything that we do, we try to tell a story. Whenever I wear a different outfit in our press conferences, I'm telling a story. Where the ATLians, I saw somebody posted that on social media, is telling a story and is telling a brand that is real to who we are. So there's 2 books on our staff room table. And both the books are the same books. It's a book called Recruit or Die. So every single day our coaches walk in, they see those books sitting there on the staff room table. And there's a stuffed possum sitting there to further illustrate that you got to recruit or die, because recruiting, having players is the lifeblood of the program. perennially the top 10 programs in recruiting are the same ones that you see in the top 10 in the final polls.
Right.
And the same thing with the top 20 and those kind of things. We should be at that level recruiting wise for where we are, what we have to sell. So we're doing that. When you leave our staff meeting room, there's two huge signs. One's a Bobby Dodd that's in the College Football Hall of Fame. Either love your players or get out of coaching. So every coach, as they leave the room, they see that poster. Then there's the other one, love your players. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. So every day when the coaches leave, those two things are being ingrained in them, and I think that's real. And you watch our guys, how hard they play throughout the entire season through some adverse situations, and the outside world having opinions. We just stayed with this process, stay with our system, stay with our belief, and our guys play hard because they know we care about them, they know we love them, and we're there for their best interests. So.
All right. Real quick, we got about 90 seconds. You've got to go change costumes, and we're going to talk about the periphery of this.
Okay.
Philosophically, though, beyond all the things, Jeff Collins, the core of a coach, was built by who?
George O'Leary.
Okay.
George O'Leary. 100%, and I'm very proud of that fact.
Yeah.
I was a GA for him, and then one of my big badges of honor is he promoted me from a GA to a full-time coach.
Yes, he did.
Promoted me from a defensive GA to the tight ends coach under Billy O'Brien, the head coach of the Texans. Then a big badge of honor for me is he hired me back.
Mm-hmm.
So he thought enough of me to hire me at UCF when he was the head coach there, and we had a great 2-year run. And the 3 years that I was with him at Georgia Tech, I love my wife. We've been married 24 years, but it's really 21 because for those 3 years I didn't see her.
Might be the secret to your success with your marriage.
There's no doubt. Yeah. But Coach O'Leary, I think the world of him and what he's done for me in my career, my development.
Yeah. Come on. Yeah.
Come on, Wes.
You know he's watching. Come on. If you ever worked with Coach O'Leary, everybody does an impression.
Yeah.
Everybody's got a George O'Leary. All right, when we come back, Packer's already said it, and he's right. Nobody markets the brand like Jeff Collins. So when we come back, where did all this come from? Jeff Collins' secrets for looking good. That may be my all-time favorite, by the way. Cape Day.
Yeah.
All right, come back. More with Jeff Collins and Yes Kids, a costume change right here. Packer and Durham, ACC Network, Sirius XM 371, and the ESPN app.